Tell us what you got out here.
Not much lawn anymore. It used to be the kids all played here, as you recall. But I started with like an 18-foot diameter circle, which is just what a 50-foot piece of fence would encircle. And then I started making it bigger and bigger and bigger. Each year I'd dig up a little more. And now it's larger. Yeah, I got sweet potatoes growing this year. Every year I try to try something new that I haven't done before, and last year it was popcorn. And got peppers. We bought some peppers plants that are doing much better than the ones I started myself. Oh, I got to show you, bring your attention to this pumpkin plant. It starts like in there, and that is all one plant all the way down to that tendril sticking out there. It's all one pumpkin vine. And that has just gotten nuts.
Oh, you got rhubarb here.
Yeah. We got one, two, we got about 5 rhubarb plants. What else we got?
Come see the scarlet runner beans. See that orange blossom right there, all the way up, right over there.
Oh, yeah.
Goes all the way up there. They're huge purple beans, and we thought they were mostly decorative, but they're very delicious. Good for what eels have.
But if you want a complete tour, I've got
Oh yeah.
lettuce and cabbage and stuff under the row cover here. It's not doing so well because though that keeps it cool, which it likes, it still doesn't have enough sunlight.
Oh.
Then on this frame here we start with peas on the back side, and as they grow up we start, beans, which like the warmer weather, on the front side. So that's why we have both peas and beans climbing on the same trellis here.
A bean.
There's a bean. And there's peas in here somewhere too. They're pretty much gone by. And then I put all kinds of dry beans down here in front, and the bush beans. There's peas there.
Oh, show that one. Up close.
They ain't gonna make it. Onions here, they're doing so-so. I've never had great luck with onions. They always come out small or maybe hardly bigger than onion sets. But I started all these from seed.
Yeah, these are falling out of
Which
the
was
dirt.
new. Which was new this year.
These are falling out
More
of the
beans.
dirt.
I know. Well, that's from weeding it.
Right. Oh,
And
that's
then
before you
all
go
this
any
is
too far.
squash and pumpkins and corn and popcorn there.
Oh, sorry. I'll show you.
What were
Japanese
you talking
beetles
about?
that are pests and make all the leaves all holy here. A close up. Right here. They're a menace to the gardener. They eat things up. Okay, he's got more, I'm sure.
And a few successive plantings of sweet corn there. This is all potatoes. Here. Cilantro. We let some cilantro and lettuce and stuff go to seed, and sometimes they come up in the spring. Got some zucchinis happening there. mention the sweet potatoes, peppers here. These 4 beds here are all carrots. I've had to replant them about 3 times, but they seem to be doing all right now. Some parsnips over there. Check out these Anaheim peppers, how they're doing. Alright, beets in the middle here. And then this is tomatoes all the way around here with cucumbers behind them. Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Oh, and you see there what I did with grain barrels. Those are both olive barrels, actually. And I could pretty them up some, but basically they feed this drip system so that I can collect like 120 gallons of rainwater and water, water with that when it's drier. I just got that rigged up because I just put in a pipe to drain the gutters and down underground to the out to the street. Oh, what else? Flowers are pretty much Peggy's doing. Firewood, that's almost a year's worth of firewood there. Been buying more every year than we use, so it's almost up to where I'm a year ahead, which I like because it burns better. Right in here. This is the other place we stack firewood, which is where this year's load is going to go, and I just kind of found a bunch of flat rocks and sort of paved it there so it wouldn't sit on the ground. Got to put a new roof on this shed. Oh, that's, of course, that's the hatch. Right here's the hatch where I throw the firewood in through the big old firewood box that holds about 1/3 of cord. It's good for a couple of weeks. Raspberries that we've been trying to get them to bear something, but we haven't had much luck over the last few years. And down here, this is cranberries that I just put in this year. It'll take some years to develop. Apple tree I put in this year, and another one out in front. By the big garden. Couple of grapevines that I just put in this year. Clothesline. These are getting nice and dry. closer in here. Rather than take stuff to the dump, we just make a nuisance pile out of it, and eventually it breaks down. That's about it. Haven't done much boating because ever since we've had the Saturns, we haven't had a vehicle that would carry them. The fence is for deer. And I wish cats. But the cats seem to get in anyway. Oh, greenhouse, yes, I made out of some old shower. And then this used to be a bulkhead door, like, you know, near to the ground, that it would open up that way, but sometimes water would get in there and it wasn't very fuel efficient, so I made that so we can insulate it. Then we have this little kind of private patio here. I got a cherry off the cherry tree this year. It got all the way to ripe. The birds love them. Oh, and we can hook the hose up there with a sprayer for a shower out here. Oh, this deck is here. At one point I was going to make an expansion on the house like this to be a mudroom and everything, but that didn't work out. It sat for a few years and kind of rotted before I could build it, so now I got a deck here instead. These are all new windows. I was working for a construction company that they had a contract for a house, and the foundation contractor put the foundation in the wrong place. It was too near the shore and they had to tear it back out again, and the customer kind of lost faith in the company, and he had some windows, so I looked through the bunch and figured out which ones I could use here and kind of reframed everything to use them. Yeah, let me see. Adjustments in here. Oh, that whole wall there, I popped
Are there
out.
any lights? Can we turn on some lights?
Oh, sure. We
Here,
can
we
can
have
see some
lights.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we have the finest kind.
So, yeah, all the windows are new. This whole piece of wall here is actually a closet for Ezra's, what was Ezra's room at the time. And doubled up to make a coat closet there, and a, whatchamacallit, shelf here. Required moving radiators around, and that door I moved over a ways. Excuse me here. This used to be a closet door, and the cellar stairs were going from the other direction. But I turned them around because I didn't want everybody having to walk through the kitchen to get to the cellar. In a small house, you got to use all the space you can. So over in that corner, I built that little desk out over. It's got a sloped floor under it because it's over the cellarway. And around to the right in there is kind of a pantry that used to be the That used to be the door going down to the cellar, and that's the change I made there. Better use of the space. The cabinets, I use the European hinge system, so they don't have to have frames, and that makes the best use of the space. Put the garbage can behind this piece of cabinet. Over the refrigerator. I've always hated cabinets over the refrigerators because they were so useless. So in this one here, I kind of kludged together a double Lazy Susan type shelf, so you could actually reach stuff that you had stored.
And it's sturdy. You could probably, if you could fit in there, you could ride around on it.
Yeah.
It's really durable.
Had to. Oh, the door to the kitchen used to be right over here, and this whole wall was where the refrigerator was here and the stove was here. Sink was always there. The door outside was over about where the stove is now. So I took that door and I moved it over there so there was less traffic to the kitchen. And the kitchen layout would be a little better, and of course we have room for the dining table here. Didn't know what to do with this space, so I decided to make a pull out there for the cutting boards and cookie sheets. These are all drawers, which seem to be kind of the most convenient. This shelf here,
Oh, yeah.
the
Those
shelves
are
pull out.
Very.
Because the problem with base cabinets is you can never reach in the back very well, and
Especially
so
when you
it
get old.
tends to be wasted space back there. So if you got pull-out stuff, that makes better use of the space. The lighting, I've always hated lighting in kitchens because typically there's a light in the center and you cast shadows wherever you go. And so I wanted the lights right up over the workspaces like that. Did this whole kitchen, had it all torn apart when I decided to go back to school for 4 years, so it was undone a long time. So, you know, we lived with temporary arrangements. Oh yeah, I made the little drawer there. Basically made that out of a piece of vinyl gutter. Bought the special hinges for it. Oh, and I had to put all the heating in this one spot under the stove, so I put a triple stack of convectors there to give me the same amount of heating as we used to before I put the cabinets against that wall. And got a little dust cover here for summer. In the kitchen here, I had to take down the ceiling. The floor had to be torn up because I had to put in like a whole new 200 amp circuit box, because in a modern kitchen you need about a zillion circuits, you know, and one for the microwave and one for the refrigerator and two different ones for your counter space and so forth, and all protected with ground fault circuit interrupters, and so I had to just redo all the wiring, and it required a whole new service.
Good thing he's handy.
Had to redo all the plumbing. Okay, what else have we got here?
Oh, I have an idea.
Oh, I had to replace the door not long ago. That's why I still don't have the trim back on.
The use of the space in the cellarway. The
Oh,
long
yeah, you
shelves.
already got a picture of that. We'll
But
go
you
down cellar
explain-
later.
Okay, right.
Let me see. Trying to think. Oh, the bathroom. I got the floor and the tiles all on a special deal from Home Quarters or something when it was going out, and so I did the whole floor, the tub arrangement. They're porcelain tiles, so the color goes all the way through. So I was able to use some of them for the corner shelves there. Oh, the mirror is a recycled shower door. The mate to one of those that are making up the greenhouse. Use whatever I can. Towels here over the radiator so that they'll dry. Make all the towel bars real thick so there's some space in the middle for them to dry out. That's a hamper in there behind that door. Big towel cabinets here, they're kind of deep. Anyway, because you need room for all that kind of stuff. Ah, my toilet paper rack. You gotta see that. I'm proud. I've always hated toilet paper holders. And so I decided to design one myself that would not all roll out on the floor, that would hold a spare roll so nobody was ever caught short. And it fits into that little pocket there without being in your way. Drying racks. These swing out like so. And we dry our clothes on them in the wintertime, when we need the humidity in the air, and we're already heating anyway. The heat comes from the wood stove, comes blowing up through this little vent here, and it blows in that direction and in this direction, so it blows right onto the drying clothes. We hardly run the clothes dryer all winter. This is a kind of an office and music room now, but it was Ezra's bedroom. Bedrooms in this house are quite small, so I had to make the maximum use of them. And then Ezra didn't have but a tiny little corner closet, so I built that closet in. That's where the walls popped out on the other side. This lamp here my grandfather made. My father's original father, Grandpa Neeson. Kind of a craftsman style light. One of the few things I spoke for from the family household. Some of Ezra's decor is still up here. Peggy gives me one of these calendars every year. Kind of fantasy / erotic. Warrior women wearing almost nothing. I've never quite figured that out, but hey. Let's see. This here was once Angus's room. Now it's kind of a clutter hobby room. We do a lot of sewing in here. Hardly did a thing to this except paint it. But there was a time when we had a foreign exchange student where I divided this whole room with a double bunk bed with exits on opposite sides, so it served as a bunk bed and divider, and the kids crammed themselves both into this room somehow or another for a whole school year. They were troopers about it, but it couldn't have been fun. Kind of like living on a submarine, I imagine. That was the year Ezra got hit by a car and he had to move back into his own room, and the exchange student had to hole herself up in here. But we got through the winter. And that just leaves our bedroom. Quite a mess. But I finally figured out, we've had the bed in a number of places, and I finally figured out to stick it in the corner here. And that works out pretty well, because we kind of each have a side with a window. As you see, we go with the cheapest of light fixtures. I haven't done much to this except to paint. Of course, all the outside walls in here were insulated with 2 inches of insulation, so I had to tear them all out and re-insulate them up to about R19, the equivalent of a 6-inch wall. Re-insulated, blew a bunch more insulation into the attic. My grandmother cross-stitched that. This is just a little linen cleaning closet here, tucked in behind the chimney. Hey, what do you know? I knew it was here, but that's a slide projector. Gonna have to haul it out sometime. Look at all our slides. Figure out a way to digitize them. This tree I made as a project in my Master's of Social Work program. They wanted you to express yourself. Somehow the alternative was a 20-page paper, which they didn't really want to read. So they urge us strongly to do some alternative sort of thing. This train my father built. I remember watching him as a kid. I think I remember watching him work on this thing. He's got little watch gears for in there to use his gearing on the crane. And I think I remember him just putting that together, little thing together piece by piece. So this particular train was always kind of a favorite of mine. And we've got rocks and knickknacks and shells and stuff that we've picked up all over the place. Just we like to look at them. Oh, and here, this is important. This has been here, oh, I don't know, maybe 25 years or so, this cartoon. When I finally get the place done, I will take it down.
Shares the space with Martin Luther King Jr. during parts of the year.
All right, we can go down cellar.
Oh, just a little sidebar. This is the chocolate chip jar.
Yeah, can I have one? This is its altar over here.
Yes, we have our priorities straight.
Again, making use of the space here. This used to have a standard little bulkhead, horizontal bulkhead door over it, which was hard to insulate and leaked and stuff like that. I finally built a vertical opening for it. And a couple of years ago, I made the understairs area into a little root cellar. Back you can see we've got some potatoes that I've been trying to sprout all spring. That's a good place to keep various beverages. There. That's all insulated it and provided the ventilation there to the outside. That's what those pipes are. Over there is the workshop where I create all this havoc. And it's half full of scavenged materials and stuff. For instance, these boards here were the neighbor's deck. He was tearing off the deck and he was talking to me about he had to find some way to get all these torn up boards to the dump, and I said, I'll take them. And so I got a pile of them out back. I've used some of them for some garden structures and all. And I, really have to go through here and start weeding out some of this junk, but I keep finding ways to use it. For instance, this is a remnant of the political sign for Obama, as I recall, that I used to make a whammy bar for my guitar. can always find a use for things, it seems. This wood stove we got a couple of years ago to replace a great big one that we had that was too large. It was too large for the size of the house, so we gave that away. Got this wood stove, and then I built this shroud here for capturing the warm air, and I've got fans to circulate it upstairs. Inside that shroud is a hot water tank that preheats our hot water, and as we all winter practically we don't our boiler hardly runs. We hardly burn any oil at all in the winter. We burn about 3.5 cords here, and the fans move the heat upstairs. And we've got a cold air return that drops it back in to kind of recirculate it, so we're not recirculating the cold air from the cellar. Shelves full of crap all around that we're little by little sorting through and getting rid of some. Used to have some cats, but don't have them anymore. All we got is worms. Here, they eat our garbage. There's some little guys there. Anyway, we compost all our garbage in here. Let the worms take care of it, and then use all that on the plants in the garden. Got a little book that told me how to set up a worm bin and stuff, and then in a main organic and farmers and gardeners magazine, I saw how to set up these bins like this. So when this bin's full, we just start in on the other bins, start using that, and let this one finish composting. The worms move over to the other one. Use some of the old kitchen cabinets there to make up a little sort of a potting bench gardening area there. This is the wood box that normally holds like 1/3 of a cord of wood, about 2 weeks worth in the winter time. So I just load the wood in here from the wood pile out there. It's fairly efficient. Were you done shooting out there?
Okay.
This here is a brand new breaker box I had to put in. Had to rewire everything all the way up to the mast. Had to have them, cut the power and move it to the new mast when it was time. Because it was like about a 4-fuse breaker box that we had there originally. Just totally inadequate. See here, I put in all new drain plumbing. That's about all I've done. do some canning. This here is carrot pudding. Put up marmalade and brown bread and a few other items. A few canned goods that we hate to be without. Just use the towels so they don't collect dust. Peggy put up some dilly beans. Anyway, so we do a little canning. There's all the outlets and circuitry for the heat fans to push the heat around, and of course for the sump pump and the dehumidifier, which is telling me something's wrong. I have to attend to that. But I've got a couple of thermostats in series to know when the upstairs needs heat and when we've got enough heat down here to send up there. That's about it. That's a little something Angus did to his dresser in his room. We always liked it. We know it'd go in an instant if we set it out on the lawn with a free sign on it. Don't want it in my bedroom exactly, but it's cool down here. There's been a little hot spot in the fire or something like that. Oh man.